Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, you can tell by the title, we are going to go over all of the settings that I use to film my makeup videos and etc. So if you guys want to see that, just go ahead and keep watching. Alright guys, so I know a lot of you are super curious on what kind of equipment I use, what kind of camera I use, the lens and everything like that. So for this video, since I am obviously filming with my camera, I am going to go ahead and be filming like some little shots with my Canon G7x, and I'm just going to put them right over here on the screen just so you guys can see, you know, what I film with. So as you can see right here, I film with the Canon Rebel T6i. Now I have had this camera for maybe like over 2 years or so, and it has done me well. I love this camera. It's still going strong, knock on wood. But yeah, I really love it. Gets the job done, does what I need it to do, and I think the quality looks fabulous. I think it looks great and definitely good enough for YouTube, you know. Now the only unfortunate thing about this camera is that it is a little bit pricey, but if you want good, really good quality, you're gonna have to make a little bit of a sacrifice on cost, you know. So this camera does run, I think, anywhere from about $500 to around maybe $700, depending on like what kind of lenses you get with it too, or if you just buy the body alone. So yeah, it is a, you know, it's an investment, definitely. Alright, so now that you know what I film with, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys the lens that I use as well. Now, this lens actually costs more than the camera itself, but you guys, if you want this blurry background right here that everybody wants, and you want that kind of lens that brings a lot of light into the shot, like, oh, this lens is for you. It's such an amazing lens. Absolutely worth every single penny. Now before I ramble on too much, the lens that I'm talking about is the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter f1.8 lens. Now that f1.8 aperture is basically what gives it that higher price range, but mainly the thing is that it zooms. It's the 18 to 35. There's not very many cameras that are set at like a 1.8 aperture that have a zooming capability. So that's basically why this camera costs so much. Now if you guys want to see like a little unboxing or like mini review on this lens, I do have a video on that. I will link that below or put it up in the cards or whatever. And I also do have an unboxing and review on my Canon Rebel T6i if you want to see that. But that is basically my camera equipment that I use. I love them. There are some different options like for the lens. You can get the 50mm f1.8 lens that's from Canon itself, and this is a really great lens. It's gonna have that same blurry background. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is it's a prime lens, so it's fixed at that 50mm focal length, so you can't zoom in and you can't zoom out, you can't do anything, it's stuck. So that's the only downside to it, and that's why I ended up upgrading from that lens to this one. But you know what, like it is a great lens, and if you have the space to film with that lens, I definitely recommend it. I believe it's only like $125 or so, so that is a great starter lens to start out with, and I really recommend that one. Okay, so that's pretty much my camera equipment and the lenses that I use / recommend. Now I also do have like SD cards and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys are too interested in that, but I'll actually show you guys. I have like the same SD card in my G7x. So it's just these like little SanDisk Ultra ones. Now this one is only 40 megabits per second, but my 128 gigabyte card that's in right now is, I want to say, like 80 or 90 megabits per second. So that just means it reads and writes faster when you're like transferring files onto your computer. So if you only take photos and stuff, that's not really necessary. Now it is kind of necessary if you're doing videos though, because video files definitely take up a lot of space. I think about every single time I film, I use up about like 10 to 11 gigabytes of storage. So that's the other thing. You want to get something that has a good amount of storage. Me personally, I don't like to have a little amount and keep deleting deleting like as I go, or you know, anything like that. I like to be able to have like a few videos on my SD card before I wipe it all out clean again. So that is why I have a 128 gigabyte. It will last me forever. I can have tons and tons of videos on there, so I love that. Now of course you don't have to go that big. I would recommend probably like a 64 because I do have a 32 in my G7X, and because this is mainly all video files on here, like a 32 just isn't big enough. I always find myself having to delete stuff and running out of space. So I definitely recommend a 64. I think that's like a good like starter. But hey, if you want to go big or go home, like get a 128, who cares? Get one bigger than that, 256, I think that's the next size. So those are the cards I use, and you're just gonna want something that writes fast, that faster speed, and then a bigger like storage capacity for sure. Now I already mentioned it, but for my videos like this where I kind of need to film extra shots like of my camera and stuff, and I need another camera, I use my G7X, and I also use this for like vlog kind of style videos. Now I don't do too much of those, but when I do, I use my G7X, so just in case you guys were wondering. So next thing I have gotten a lot of questions on is lighting. Girl, it has taken me a long time, like I am still working on it too, to get like some decent lighting and to make it look cute and good. Let me tell you, girl, it is hard. It is very hard. I don't even know how like beauty gurus do it and make it perfect. I will get there one day. So basically what I use is a ring light, and then I literally turn on my like bedroom light on the ceiling, and then I have like a little ratchet lamp over here that I turn on, and then I have literally you guys, a little desk lamp over here that I use to brighten it up, because look how it would look without it. Look how dark that is. So I definitely recommend having like some sort of source of lighting in the background, because that definitely brightens everything up and doesn't make it look as dark and dull. So definitely recommend that. Or if you have a great big window with beautiful natural lighting, girl, use that. I am telling you, natural lighting is the best. But my window is kind of located in a really weird position, so I don't really get the best sunlight in my room, so I can't really rely on natural lighting, unfortunately. So I gotta make do with the artificial lights, and of course I use a ring light. Can't remember if I mentioned that, but that is the main source of lighting, you guys. Now a lot of people use like the Diva ring light, and honestly, like I don't think you need that, you guys. Like that is almost, I think like $250 or somewhere around there. Very, very expensive, and you know, it's just a lot of money. So I bought the newer ring light, and it's the 18-inch dimmable ring light, and I got it off of Amazon, and it was only like 130 bucks, I want to say, and it came with the stand and everything, so everything was just like ready and set for me to just prop it up and go. So that was great, and I thought that was a really good deal, and I love my ring light. It totally changed my like filming game, I guess you would say, because my lighting is shit. Like it's always been crap, but this just makes it so much better. So I highly recommend getting a ring light if you do not have good lighting in your room. For sure, absolutely, that is like one of the first things you should invest in, is a ring light. Lighting is key, you guys. So that is all I use for lighting. Now I want to move on to microphone, because I do get a lot of questions as well on what microphone that I use. So here is the microphone that I use. It's the Rode VideoMic Go. It's definitely the cheaper one of the Rode mics, but I think it works fantastically, and I really love the quality. Of course, in the future I want to upgrade, but for now this is working fantastically for me. So you can actually get this if you buy a video, or not a video, just like a DSLR camera. Usually they'll have an option that's like a video creator kit, and it's pretty cool. Like they'll give you a tripod, they'll give you this actual microphone, the Rode VideoMic Go microphone, an SD card, and like a bag usually. So it's a great little bundle, so I definitely recommend looking into that if you're just starting to look on, you know, what kind of camera and equipment to buy. That's a really good option. So that's the microphone that I use. And yeah, you guys, that is pretty much it. Like camera, lighting, microphone. Now, oh, I also get questions on my backdrops that I use. I haven't used a backdrop in a couple of weeks, but the backdrops, you guys, literally it's just fabric. It's just fabric. So what I do is I have a blank wall over here to my right, and I will just literally hang up a piece of fabric and like pin it to the wall or whatever, and I use that as my backdrop. So super cheap, super simple to use. So yeah, I think that is an absolute great like money saver, because the actual backdrops that like bigger beauty gurus buy, they are like 50 bucks a piece. So that's a lot of money, and your girl kind of broke, so I can't afford that right now. So that is a great option for those of you who are just starting out, or for those of you who are on a budget and already have a YouTube channel. Great option. All right, so lastly, I just want to mention a couple of things that I use for like my editing process. So what I use is a MacBook Pro. This is an older version, but I mean, hey, it works, whatever. I can't afford a new one, so this is what I use, and I just use iMovie. I don't use Final Cut Pro. I actually have Final Cut Pro, but I'm like a little scared to use it. Like, I don't like when things change and I have to learn something new, because it just takes time to learn, you know? So I haven't really used Final Cut Pro yet. I've used it for like maybe 1 or 2 videos, but for the most part I use iMovie and it works perfectly, and you can do like certain things too in iMovie to where it looks kind of like you did it in Final Cut Pro. So I think iMovie works fine. It's easy for me and I love it. I can edit like so quick on that. So that is the computer I use to film with and the software that I use to edit my videos. So basically that is everything that I used from start to finish to film my videos and then edit them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was helpful to you guys. Of course, if you have like any more questions or anything, like, please leave them below. However, I do also have like a kind of tech video playlist where I describe kind of like how to get a blurry background, or a little bit more in depth of like the things that I use, and also like the video settings that I use if you want to know that. So definitely check those out if you're interested. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe and turn on those post notifications, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!